Happy Wednesday, everybody. How's everybody doing? Can everybody hear me? Oh, God. Hold on one second. How is everybody? So I am tired today. It is Wednesday, and I am actually kicking off my Wednesday wellness series that I will be doing every Wednesday over the course of the summer. This is something I did 2 years ago. I came live every Wednesday. I think maybe it was every Tuesday, but I'm doing Wednesday this year, and usually between 7:30 and 8. And hey Meryl, and I would talk to you about a little bit about me and a little bit about things like different ways of incorporating different wellness tricks and tips that I've done. Okay. Obviously, for most of you who know me, I work with a company called Young Living. It is a whole body wellness company. Okay. It started as an essential oil company. I put a little information in here for you guys who don't know, and now has kind of grown into this whole big kind of wellness company. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight, because this is an insane time. I actually was lucky enough and decided to do it with my 2 girls today. I went down to the peaceful protests that were on the Common, and it was amazing. And it was wonderful to actually be there and to have the peace and to have everyone unified together. I mean, there are a lot of things happening right now in the world. Obviously, with COVID, we've all been kind of hunkering down. And I think I was originally going to have this topic talking about emotions and different ways of helping kind of reprogram your brain and using essential oils. And I am going to talk about that because I feel like after my experience today, it's even more so. But with everything that was happening with COVID, we all were spending a lot of time together with our families, which is amazing, right? Some of us don't have the opportunity to have that, so that was another issue. But, you know, part of us being humans is we want to be able to reach out. Like, I like to give my friends hugs and kisses and, hey, Jessica, and be around people. And so this has been a very hard time, okay? Whenever there's anything that's unknown, the stress level just goes through the roof, right? Everyone gets very anxious and you don't know what to do. Do I wear a mask? Do I not wear a mask? Is it safe? Is it not safe? What is social distancing? Can I go out to the grocery store? I mean, there's been so many things that have been happening. So that's one aspect of it. And then obviously over the last week, things have been completely heightened with everything that's happening with the Black Lives Matter protests and raids, hey Kathy, that have been going on, and people are angry and people are passionate and people want change. I will tell you, it's interesting raising teenagers right now. I mean, my eldest daughter has been to 3 protests. I don't think I went to a protest until I was 30. They're super involved, and the energy that this young generation is giving off, first of all, it makes me so happy. It is an interesting phenomenon because I asked one of them today, like, you know, how do you feel about this? And their conversation back to me is, I don't really understand why we have to do this. And it's so true. Like, why are we still continuing to do exactly what we've been doing? But we do need to do it. People are listening. People are learning. I've made a personal, mission for myself in June to listen more, to educate myself more, and to have more conversations, right? Because that's my job to do that. Hey, Michelle. So, with all that being said, I am a little bit tired. So let's talk about different ways of helping support ourselves, because here's the deal. Our wellness in general is obviously 2 parts. We have our health, like our physical health, like our immunity, and then you have your emotional health. And we're going to start tonight by talking about emotional health, because if our emotional health is out of whack, it starts to change everything that's happening in our bodies, okay? Usually one of the first things to happen when we get very, very stressed out is a lot of people, so either, I think it goes 2 ways, okay? So a lot of people either start sleeping a lot, which kind of falls into the depressive category. They regress, they pull themselves out. And then you have people who can't sleep at all, tossing and turning. I was that person when this was happening. I was like, I just couldn't shut it all off. So I started incorporating a whole bunch of things into my nighttime routine that actually have helped, and I will share those with you. But it's super important to make sure that our emotions are supported, and sometimes we don't even know exactly what to do. And sometimes when we're kind of going down the rabbit hole, We're looking for different ways. It's a process of taking time. Now, obviously, we're not talking about like, I'm a huge believer in therapy, and I've spent a great deal of time there. So this is not like therapists are amazing and we all need them. And I think this is in correlation. But when you are noticing things are going for yourself, these are things that I've noticed for myself that have been extremely helpful, and I wanted to share them with everybody. Okay. So I have always been a journaler. I've loved it, but then there were, sorry, I have like background noise coming from the room. Then I went through like different periods of time where I just didn't do it, right? And so about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, I made the decision that I was going to make it part of my schedule. So I had to put myself on a routine, and I've always been pretty good about a routine. I was a 5:30 in the morning wake up girl, and like I just kind of did my day. But then like through this, I was like, I kind of slept till 7:15, did my exercise, blah blah blah. Anyway, but I was noticing I needed something to like focus back in. So I've been getting up 6:45, 7, doing my workouts. I have enjoyed sleeping in, I'm not gonna lie. And then after I do that, I go sit outside. Well, I was sitting inside the house when it was cold, but now I go and sit outside in the back of our house in a garden. We have a Buddha little statue, and I sit there, and I usually bring out 3 or 4 oils, because I'm going to talk to you about oils because I'm like, they're amazing, and they're amazing for helping support your immune system. They're amazing for helping you support your just overall emotions. But I have these 2 amazing journals. Okay. So someone gave me this one. This is the Good Day Start with Gratitude. There's tons of them out there. Someone just sent this to me because they knew I've been doing it. If someone is interested, I just want to tell you it's made by prettysimplebooks.com. Okay, so I'm sure it's probably on Amazon, because, you know, if it's not on Amazon, then it's not, doesn't exist in the universe. Okay, so this is one. It's very simple. It actually gives you 3 little cues for the day. Hey, Hillary. So that's like pretty straightforward. I'm a huge believer that we should wake up every day and write down 10 things that we're grateful for. I had a friend who did a gratitude challenge. She did it for 6 months, and every morning she'd wake up and she had to write down 10 things, and they could never repeat. So it really starts to open your eyes about everything you're grateful for. So someone gave that to me, so I was like, okay, I'm just going to do straight up grateful. Write down the date, those 3 things. And then I have my favorite little book. Okay, this is my badass journal. I have the worst handwriting in the universe, so even if you guys wanted to read this, you can't read it. I should have been a doctor, my mother always said. I sit down and I kind of combination between what I used to do when I was younger and as a teenager and barf up my life, and put everything like into a little journal. And then I also set intentions for the day. And a lot of it has turned around with what I want to accomplish. So what I want to accomplish as a mom, what I want to accomplish as a business owner, what I want to accomplish as a human being for the day, and kind of break it out into pieces. Because we get in this mind trap of thinking we don't have enough time to do everything. But when you actually write down on a piece of paper, I will get everything done that needs to get done today that was supposed to get done. It alleviates all that other pressure out there. Because if you were to look at my desk right now, it's like a bomb. But I'm like, okay, so everything that needed to get done today got done today. And I have to let the rest of it go. You have to give yourself grace in that period of time. So, sorry, I was just moving a text. So I write down things like that. Then I also have become very intentional about what I want for myself professionally, what I want for myself long-term. And I write it down. If anyone's a big Rachel Hollis fan, you write everything down in present tense, okay? The universe is listening to everything we say. So if we walk around like a bummer all the time, it's listening, it's giving us back negativity. One of my favorite books, hold on, is The Energy Bus, okay? My kids make fun of me all the time. One of my favorite sayings in here is talking about being an energy vampire. I'm like, I don't have room on my bus for the energy vampires. And as they say, the more you surround yourself with positive people and people who can bring you joy and light, the better and more appreciative you are for life. Okay, this is an awesome book. I have it on Audible, so when I'm feeling like, this is just like a great read. Super fast, okay? I'm setting my intention to create positive vibes. There's so much negativity. There's so much unknown around us, but we have to create that space for ourselves. So that is how I start my day, very intentional with what I want for myself, professionally, etc. Learning how to, in this environment, like a lot of people on here watching, like learning how to pivot a business, learning how to reach people in different ways. In some ways, this has been an awesome experiment because now we know that most of us, I can talk to you on social media, I can talk to you on Zoom. It's amazing. We don't need to have all this overhead. But a lot of us had to pivot because a lot of us like to be near humans, right? So we're all learning how to do that and pivot what we're doing. So those are like the 2 things I would like that have been so helpful for me for regrounding and focusing for the day. That said, I am a huge proponent of using essential oils. Now, a lot of you guys know that, and you're like, okay, Kim, like, whatever, dude. Like, I'm so sick of you listening to essential oils. Obviously, I use them a lot. This is my second rack in my office. There are missing spaces because I have pulled some of them down, but I want to show you some of the ones that I use throughout the course of the day. And when I talk about oiling up, I'm not talking about like, okay, so this is an oil blend called Energy. I'm not like, okay, at like 7 o'clock in the morning, okay, and then like walk out my house. Like, that's not the end of it. I am using them all the time. These are pure essential oils, so they change the vibration of how you feel. So if you're feeling sad, like, right, I mean, I'm telling you right now, I was so tired before this video, and I put on Energy, and I put on peppermint, I put on those oils. I like to stick stuff on the top of the crown of my head too, because throughout the course of the day, if I go like this, first of all, I smell great. I'm like a human diffuser, and everyone always loves it, right? But it's always there with me, and I can smell it. I wear a diffuser, bracelets. It is something that takes time to get used to, but can help you. Like, aromatherapy has been used for years and years and years. Think about, like, let's not even think about it as aromatherapy. Think about when you go to a spa, okay, or you go to get a massage or a pedicure or whatever. They have set a mood for you. A lot of times there's music, and a lot of times there's candles and smells, okay? That is aromatherapy. I'm just talking about going all the way back to the basics of where aromatherapy came from, and it's coming actually from the plant, okay? So this isn't anything new. This has been used forever. Some of them have been used medicinally, sure, and like, you know, I use them to support my immune system, but I will tell you, from a daily basis, I use tons of them to support my emotional system, and when I don't, I notice. It's the same thing. Like on Saturday, I got up, I did everything, and I didn't journal. In the middle of the day, I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I couldn't focus. So I pulled myself out and I went and sat in my backyard and I journaled for 15 minutes, and it changed my mindset, okay? It was able to reboot. These give us the availability to do that. It also gives you the availability when you're feeling overwhelmed to breathe and have something extra, okay? The one thing we will always have with us is our breath, okay? As long as we are living on this planet, we have breath. As a yoga teacher, okay, as a mom, of a mother, like my mother used to say to me, Kimberly, take a big breath, and Michelle will probably laugh so hard right now because she knows my mother, like, take a big breath, Kimmy, and everything will be fine, because I was like firing hot, right? And now as a parent, just like, God help us all, that's what I find myself saying the most. So I'm like, it's okay, relax, just take a big breath. But at the end of the day, here's the deal. It makes a huge difference. If we all sit here right now, if you have oils, you don't have oils, and you were to take 5 big breaths, okay, in and out, in for 5, and then hold it, and out for 5, and you did that 5 times, it's approximately a minute, your entire body will start to calm down, okay? It is impossible to feel like manic and stressed when your breath actually comes down, especially as you breathe. Like, when we're anxious, we breathe up here, right? As we drop everything down into the lower lobes, and this is something I've had to work on as an asthmatic as well, you actually are taking these big breaths in, exhaling everything out, and you're calming your nervous system, okay? There's a nerve in your body called the vagus nerve that goes through the back of your neck, and it controls your heart rate, and kind of like when you're feeling that fluttery thing, when you are breathing and you actually take these big breaths, okay? Like, I want everyone, we're gonna do it. So everyone, if you have oils, let's do it. So if you have oils, let's find something calming. I am going to use Stress Away, okay? So this one has a roller on it. We're gonna put it in our hands, and everyone's gonna rub your hands together, and then cup your hands over your nose. And I want you to breathe. So everyone just close their eyes. We're gonna breathe in, and then breathe back out. Breathe in, and breathe out. And as you do this, let's take another big breath in. You can put your hand on your belly. You can actually feel your belly extend. And then exhale, let it all go. Really breathing everything out. You want to empty out those lower lungs, okay? Hey, Steph, how are you, sweetie? We're breathing. So take another big breath in. Exhale, breathe out, let it go. And as you can see, as you're doing that, you're starting to calm your entire body, okay? So you always have your breath with you, no matter where, whatever kind of anxiety is. Take a moment, Take 30 seconds, take a minute. You deserve to do that. That is your right to stop and be like, I need it. You can call it a mommy timeout. You can call it a Sandy break, whatever it is. Take your moment and breathe, okay? Before you like gonna jump ugly through a conference call or whatever, take a breath. So you always have your breath. You always have breath with you, okay? And you can always use that as a way to calm down your body. But think about how amazing it is to add actually smell to that and how it incorporates into your brain. Something like Stress Away has multiple oils in it, things that help to calm your body and help you feel more grounded. So as you're breathing these in, and as the essential oils work within your body, and people who use oils can attest to this, you actually start to breathe in it within 15 to 30 seconds, depending on how deeply you're breathing. It actually goes into your brain and can start to change how you feel. Okay, so that's cool. When you actually put oils on yourself, within 20 minutes, it actually is in every cell of your body, okay? So you're actually feeding your body all these amazing little plant-based awesomenesses for all my gardeners out there, and they work in harmony with our bodies like this, okay? They're helping our body do what our body is naturally meant to do, as opposed to a synthetic, which tells our body what to do. You have to keep on firing the synthetic at your body, otherwise your body is like, that's the only way it does it. The essential oils actually work because they're the lifeblood of the plant. They actually work with our body in harmony, so we're actually able to let our bodies heal and do the amazing things that our body is meant to do. Okay, because our body is an amazing, probably the most amazing machine out there. So if you're supporting your emotional system as you're doing this, as you're breathing, as you're working through this, and you're adding the oils, you're helping to relax your body at a completely different level, okay? Plus you're getting all the amazing antioxidants from them, and this smells, okay? I want you to think about smell. So I gave you the example of a spa, but let's think about when you would go to like your grandmother's house and she was cooking something, right? You smell something like that, that memory takes you back, okay? So oils can actually be used to help, one, to bring back like a positive mindset. Like, so I can smell this and be like, okay, I've set my intention with this oil. This is what it smells like, and create that space. They can also help to break down those barriers of things that have been maybe traumatic or things that are hard for you to deal with. So a lot of times they can be used to help release different emotions that you're actually storing in your body. So you do hold emotions in your body, just as an FYI. A lot of them, usually a lot of our emotions are in our hips. Hey, Melissa, a lot of them in our hips as well. So as you start to release things in your body and using the oils with that breath, it really helps to deepen the way that you're emotionally attaching to yourself, okay? I'm not saying this is the end all and be all. It is not. I've spent a crap ton of time in therapy, okay? But this has been another, I refer to them as a tool in my toolbox to help people. And anybody out there who has used them can actually attest to the fact, and you guys can throw up some hearts if you like have attested to the fact that they've worked and you've actually used them. And it is a little bit of like anything, like when you're doing a 21-day diet, or you're doing exercise, or you're giving up sugar, or you're, I don't know, I mean, like whatever your goal in life is, whatever you're doing, it's really hard. Like when the first day I say I'm going to give up sugar, like I want, at some point I want to eat my dark chocolate, but you have to decide you're going to do it. So this can help support you with all of this, okay? So I'm just going to run through some of my favorites for emotional support that I've been using a lot. I'm going to focus a little bit on sleep, and I'm sorry to be so long-winded, but I always chat too much, so you guys have to shut me up. But I really want to focus on two different blends of oils that I use, particularly towards sleep and towards calming down, okay? So I was having a hard time sleeping, couldn't get my brain to shut up, okay? I always use two oils, every night. I use lavender and I use cedarwood. I've been using them for the last 2 years. I put them in the diffuser, which is right next to my bed. I put them on my body, and it wasn't enough. I was waking up and I was getting super frustrated. So what I started incorporating in is, I'm like, where did I put it? Okay. So I use an oil called Valor, which I'm going to talk about. This is my key ingredient into Mommy's Chill Out the Beep 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 blend, okay? This one right here. But I would put Valor on the crown of my head. Oh wait, let me back something up. The first thing I did is I took the phone away. Now this is one of the hardest things. Like I've always taken my phones away from my kids, and I used to always plug it in, but then, you know, like things kind of crept back in. I take my phone and I plug it in 35 minutes to an hour before I go to sleep. Some nights I'm not so good at it, but I'm like, the phone is away. I don't use it as an alarm clock. I have like I have an old alarm clock that gets plugged in. It gets plugged on the opposite side of the room, so it's actually an effort for me to have to go to bed. I try not to watch television anymore. I'm trying to create a sanctuary for myself, okay? Because, you know, there's all those studies saying when you sleep with, hey, Megan, when you sleep with like noise and everything like going on like that, it's super disruptive. So no TV, create the sacred space. So I get the diffuser going. I put the lavender and I put the cedar wood in every night. Sometimes I add a couple other things, wash my face, do everything. So I'm setting a space, a sanctuary for myself. I do the same. I recommend that I do the same thing for my kids. When they were younger, I used to have much more control over it. Now they're teenagers. I kind of don't. I know there's people on here whose kids use their oils every night and they set them up and they've created their own sanctuary. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, this is great for kids. And it's great for teenagers, just usually not mine, because God forbid I actually have any good advice for them. But, and then I take the lavender and the cedar wood and I put on my feet. And as I referenced to you guys before, it doesn't matter where on your body you actually put an essential oil, a good pure essential oil, because within 20 minutes it's everywhere in your body. So for me, those two oils make me like sleepy. It almost has like a little bit of like a melatonin effect to me. I sit there and I breathe them in. I go through the count of 5 and then I put those away. Then I started adding in Valor on the top of my head. Okay, so I put it on there again. Every time when I talk about it, I put it on the top of my head and then I breathe. Yeah, see, I'm like, Megan's kids do it and they're my kids' age, but not my kids. I put it on the top of my head. Everything I always do, I always breathe. So within this, I'm always constantly breathing this in. So I'm taking big breaths and I'm breathing everything in. And then they have this Tranquil Roller, which is a blend of lavender and it has Roman chamomile in it, which harkens back to little mommies used to put Roman chamomile on themselves, which is actually a derivative where chamomile tea comes from, and it would help to soothe their babies. So Roman chamomile, oh look at this, my eyesight's pretty good tonight. Lavender and cedar wood. And I take this, because I'm like not joking around anymore, straight up underneath my nose. Okay, now why do I do that? Because I put an oil on my feet called Rutavala, which smells horrible, I'm not gonna lie, but I know this smells good and I'm gonna put it on my feet and it helps me sleep. It was life-changing for my husband and I. We actually did a live video about it on Instagram because it was so changing. And then I have, depending on what's happening the nights, I will put my CBD Calm Roller on. Now here's the deal. The Young Living CBD, 0 THC, okay? You can Google it. There is 000 THC. This is something you can use on your kids. They have drops. I use that for myself every night. I have used it for my kids. So don't think there's anything else going on in there. If you use THC, it's none of my business, but I'm just telling you as a company, their CBD is pure, has no THC in it, okay? So it can be used in all different ways. And I roll that down, up and down the back of my spine. Then I pretty much shut my lights off and create my sanctuary for myself. For me, luckily, going to sleep isn't the problem. It was I was waking up. So this has allowed me to actually sleep all the way through the night, not have to wake up to pee, not feel restless unless my house is like running around. So it's been really, really, really like life-changing from a sleep perspective for me and for my husband. The Rutavala had really made some changes, and so did the CBD. Okay, I'm hoping that once kind of like the anxiety of life goes back down, I will experiment and try different things. But like, you know, you got to try what you got to try right now. And if sleep for your immune system is so important, okay? We need to drink a lot of water. We need to sleep. We need to fuel ourselves. We need to breathe fresh air. We need to exercise, okay? So we need to make sure that that's really strong. So we want to sleep, but not too much, like as I said in the beginning. And then the other one that I really want to talk to you guys about, there are some supplements I take too, which are super important, but I don't want to get too long-winded because I'm chatting too much. But, and if you guys have any questions, just ask me, okay? I created a blend that was originally for who is now, are there any other oils in Rutavala? Yeah, I'll grab it for you in a second and I will give you the rundown on Rutavala. It's stinky. Oh, was I saying? Oh, so this blend was originally created for my teenage daughter. Well, she's now a teenager. She was a preteen, and she was hysterical. Like, I tell the story. She came in and she's like, you know, the slobbering, like, nose red, can't speak. So the first thing I did is throw in the shower, because when you actually put water in your body, it helps to soothe you. That's why a lot of people end up taking like cold showers and stuff like that. So I put her in the thing, and then I went and I took 3 oils. I took Valor, Peace and Calming. This is my mommy. Peace and Calming, and lavender. Okay, you can see I use lavender a lot. Put them in the palms of my hands, mix them around, and I basically went like this to her. cupped over her face in the shower, and I made her breathe for 30 seconds. I let her calm her body down, and within about, I'd say like a little less than a minute, maybe like a minute and a half, I mean, I can't really remember, it was so many years ago, she actually was able to stop that and actually start to be able to recalibrate where she was, right? Because her emotions had gotten so far out, it was enabling her to be able to breathe and to bring herself back and to centering them. And that was my like big turning point for me. I'm like, oh my God, because I used these originally all for immunity. And I was like, oh, okay. So there's so much of a support for that. So I have now dubbed it as mommy's needs to chill the beep, 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 beep out blend. She does not use it as much. I normally, so I have this little diffuser necklace that I wear. I have different ones. As I said, I have roller bottles everywhere. You guys can see them. I have it usually in my back pocket. That stuff is everywhere all day long. Okay. I'm using that stuff all day long because I want to be, hold on, Megan, I'm answering your question about Rutavala. I want to make sure that I get my mommy's time out. Every one of us deserves to have that time to chill out, okay? We deserve to be able to make sure our emotions are in check. And also, as a mother of teenagers, especially with everything going on right now, everyone is firing hot. Everyone's super emotional. People have lots of opinions. They have no idea why they have opinions, and they have lots of hormones. That's all I'm gonna say. And it's a lot, and we need to be able to support them. Thank you, Stephanie. It's the valerian root that really smells horrible. In there, but it works like a gem. I'm telling you, we need to be able to support them. So these are different tools that I've used in my toolbox that I wanted to share with you about how to support my emotional wellness so that during the day I can actually be more present and to calm down and to focus. What I use for sleep, and obviously we play around with all different things, and there's different people on here who probably use different combinations and love different things, but these are things that have been super helpful and impactful for my health and for the wellness of my body and my emotional system. So I'm super passionate about what I do. I've been doing this for a long time. And no, it sounds a little bit out there, and in some ways it's like the most basic thing. Like I always refer to it as like farm to table. Like you want organic food, you want your farm to table food. This is like you're going straight from the plant because it is distilled, and you're going right to your body. You're not going through any kind of middleman, okay? It doesn't mean, I am a huge proponent in medicine. As an asthmatic, I take my asthma medication. Hey, Suzanne. There's my little nurse friend. As a asthmatic, I take an asthma medication every day. Okay, I would love to be off it, but it's just not part of the cards here. But I've done all these other things to support my immune system and all these other things to keep myself healthy so I don't have the same kind of asthma flare-ups that I was having before. And that was like a lifestyle change that I made for myself. But I will tell you, from an emotional standpoint, when you actually smell these, and you have to just trust me, that truly, truly, truly is something that is life-changing for you, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Does anybody have any questions for me this evening? I think I gave you the name of the books. Really Creating Your Own Intention. Please read The Energy Bus. It's an amazing book, okay? Super fast. Kick the vampires off the bus. As I said to my kids, we were talking about different things, and everyone has different political views right now, and everyone's firing hot. I said, listen, you can say to certain people, I love you, but right now you can't be on my energy. You're an energy vampire. You are sucking that out of me. We all know people like that. They walk in the room, they just pull all that out. We need to surround ourselves with a lot of positivity as much as we can, because we can't necessarily control what's happening outside of it, but we can control what's happening in our homes, just like you can control what you're putting on your body and how you're taking care of yourself, okay? So if nobody else has any other questions, I will let you guys all go and have a fabulous evening. I will be back next Wednesday, probably between 7:30 and 8. I will let you know. I will probably be better about announcing my time. I was just a little bit off today with going to the protest downtown, which I will tell you was extremely peaceful, and I'm so fortunate that I was able to participate in it and go with my kids, and yay to this generation of children. So I love you guys all. I hope you have an amazing week. Enjoy this weather and stay safe and sane and healthy. Okay, bye.